can hear it. It was like 18 degrees all night last night. See all the ice. All I know is I can't ever imagine a day that I'll be getting into an electric plow truck. It seems very silly to me. One of those electric trucks, speaking of them. The gas engine and the hydraulic pump that gets run off of a diesel engine, those are probably the most productive things that have ever been invented in this world. That's not a good place to stop there, Palbert. Palfredo. I don't know if you guys seen the news recently, but charging stations and Teslas and other electric vehicles are having a really hard time through this super cold front. That's the thin layer of ice on top of all this snow. You can hear it as I'm shoveling. Babby, I'm leaving.
You're leaving?
You gonna have some fun editing that video?
No.
Bye. I'll see you later.
I'll be sleeping.
Maybe. Love you. What's going on, everybody? Another snowstorm. Definitely not as bad as the previous one. I'd say we got like 2.5, almost 3 inches. And it's starting to turn over to sleet, which is always fun. Right, guys? I am not complaining though. It is a beautiful thing getting snow in the winter. Something we've been missing here in Massachusetts. So bring it on. Keep snowing. I am kind of surprised that they're calling me in early. There's gonna be another probably 3-4 hours of snow / sleet coming. I don't know. If it was my decision doing driveways, you don't do them more than once on a storm like this. But hey, I'm getting paid hourly, so whatever. If you listen close, hear all that sleet. That's the stuff that's gonna make this more difficult than it needs to be. But we'll get it. We will get through it. Still got this broken plow marker. I haven't replaced it yet, but it's not so bad when it happens on the driver's side, but the passenger side, if you don't have that one, that could be tough. We got 1:03 p.m., 32 degrees, which is why it's sleet. I got probably an hour before I can get to my first house. Maybe even a little longer because I have to stop for fuel. Time to fuel up. Gas has been at like the high 3s, low 4s all year. But right now it is at 304. And one thing you can always count on is the gas prices to drop when an election comes. All the politicians want to be the one to say it was because of them that the gas prices got lower. Got a bunch of full-grown children arguing with each other on stage. It's become an entertainment thing. People in charge of running the country don't want to run the country. They're just in the middle of a soap opera and they're all stars in it. But who knows? Try not to get too involved with that stuff. All I know is I can't ever imagine a day that I'll be getting into an electric plow truck. Seems very silly to me. People just seem to not use their common sense whatsoever when they start thinking about electric things, electric equipment. Park has a receipt, which means I don't get it, because I'm not going in. I'll tell you one thing for sure. It's chilly. We're fueled up, good to go. Stuck behind some plow guys, I think. It's one of those electric trucks, speaking of them. I'm pretty sure, the Rivian. I don't know, man. I've seen some nice electric equipment, like small hand tool equipment and stuff like that, and like lawn mowers. But maybe some of you guys have also watched the Dirt Monkey going around to some of these expos and stuff like that. But every equipment, like heavy equipment or truck dealer that tries to put their hand to the electric thing just does not make sense, guys. I just don't get it. I don't know. I just don't get it. Call gasoline and oil fossil fuels all you want. You can name it whatever harsh word you want. It's what got this country and the world to where it is right now, and it's continuing to do so. Throwing out fossil fuels is probably one of the silliest things I've ever heard. The gas engine and the hydraulic pump that gets run off of a diesel engine, those are probably the most productive things that have ever been invented in this world. And I think maybe you just need to spend some more money and put more time into the gas engines and diesel engines as they are. Stop trying to get rid of them, but keep progressing them and keep making them better and better, because they're the heartbeat of the world and the country, really. Think about these excavators and skid steers that they're trying to make electric. You go out there and you purchase this piece of equipment for a crazy price because you're one of the first two. There's no like real on-the-job testing or anything like that of this equipment. It's just the first run stuff. And every person that buys these pieces of equipment, you also need to buy a trailer and a diesel engine powered generator so that you can charge the battery on site. How absolutely silly does that sound? I mean, it just sounds absolutely wild to me that people are on board with this and thinking that it's the future. It's like, oh my goodness gracious. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm just a caveman, but it doesn't make much sense to me. Anyway, rant over. Well, getting close to the shop. I just gotta stop there and get some salt, fill up the buckets, just in case I may get stuck or things are slippery. There's a walkway to salt, whatever. Seemed to got a good amount of snow out here. The highway was really nice and clean, which is usually it is when it's a small storm like this. All these other town roads kind of get pushed off until the main roads are done. But it's still raining and sleeting, and man, it's touchy. It's touchy whether or not you should be plowing the driveways at all until everything's done. If anything, it's only going to be like a handful of driveways that you really got to go back and touch up, so not a huge deal really at the end of the day. I was going to get some salt, and they're literally getting a salt delivery right now. Look at this ice. That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. If this goes onto the asphalt, oh boy. So here is our update right now, guys. Sudbury, winter weather till 7 tonight. Additional snow accumulations of up to 2 inches and ice accumulations around 1/10 of an inch. That's what I'm talking about, not the 2 inches of snow. Who cares about that? We don't have much snow down. But that 1/10 of an inch of ice. If you go clear all the snow and let that ice hit asphalt, that's really, really dangerous in my opinion, unless you're salting everything. But if you're not salting it, that's really bad. Whereas if you just let the storm come and hit, seeing as we only have about 2.5 inches of snow on the ground with a little bit of sleet right now, if we got another inch, 2 inches of snow plus that ice, you're really only you're less than 6 inches for sure. And it's better to do your driveways once, because all that ice will collect on top of the snow and you can push it out of the way. But if you clear the asphalt and that ice hits the asphalt, especially on a hill driveway, the next time you go visit it could be a sheet of ice on top of the asphalt. And if you got to clean it up, you just can't. You got to salt it, which a lot of people, believe it or not, in residential settings do not like salt used at their house on their asphalt because it eats it up. Or if they have concrete, their walkways, they don't want salt. They want it cleaned up nice, and then when the sun hits it, it should melt and be decent. If you back down someone's driveway and spread salt too far, you can damage the grass and plants on each side of it. Also, this rule does not apply for commercial. Commercial, it's almost like, well, not all commercial, but majority of commercial that's like open to the public through the storm and everything. It's just like the town. When the snow starts, you guys got to be there. Even sometimes the night before, you got to be there spreading salt. And then while the storm's there, you got to be scraping and salting the whole time you're there. But driveways, little different situation. That's all I'm thinking. Let me know in the comments if you guys kind of think the same way when it comes to driveways, or if you disagree, let me know why. Update time. We talked. I got my salt in my buckets and everything, and what we're gonna do is go start. It's 2:30 right now, saying the brunt of it's gonna be done around 4. So the way that I'm gonna play it out is I'm just gonna pick probably 8 or 10 driveways that are just kind of plow onlys and flat, and I'm gonna do those, kind of see what the weather's doing. But the important, like, nice driveways that are on my list with shoveling, I'm gonna try my hardest to only have to do it once, and to not kind of put them in a situation where they have a coating of ice on their property after I leave. Easy, bud, easy there. My last plowing video that I titled "You Don't Need a V-Plow for Driveways," I just wanted to do that to actually kind of spark a conversation, which was nice because there was a lot of back and forth in the comment section, and it was cool hearing from different people, different areas, different reasons why they have their plow. And my purpose behind that video wasn't to knock anybody that has a V-plow or a scoop plow, and I understand the benefits of them all in different situations, without a doubt. The one thing that I love about the straight blades, like I mentioned before, is that they're just simple, man. A huge reason why I love these Fishers is the simple controller over here that I showed in that previous video. It's right there on my left, fixed. I don't have to hold a handheld and just have another thing in my hand, because when I use a handheld, I got to use my right hand, so I got to use that and shift with them both in my hand, or use my left hand to shift while I'm holding the handheld. With it fixed on the side there, it's nice. And that's something I've always loved about the Fisher, and a big reason why I've always kept it is that control right there. Something I don't mention very often is that there will be probably a day that I try to buy or do a lot of research and find the right one, but I'm gonna find a fixed scoop plow. Like, that's an idea that I really, really like, because it's the same kind of control, up, down, left, right, but it's a fixed scoop, so you can kind of gather more up at the same time while you're just going left and right with the plow. As we got a guy with a V plow over here at a gas station. That right there, perfect example of what you need a V plow for, because you can't be going in and out of all the pumps and in the spaces that you're in a gas station and all the spaces that you're in a gas station with a straight blade. That doesn't make sense at all. I completely agree with you on that. You know, but there's so many different plows out there for different purposes. Different trucks and rigs are set up different ways. You know, I'm speaking more to a guy that's just trying to get a driveway route for themselves, trying to get into plowing for as, you know, low investment as they can with a really solid product. And I'll always stand by the Fisher straight blades because of that. They're a cheap investment with a solid product behind it. It's not like you're buying something cheap and getting something cheap. You're getting something affordable that's not going to break your bank just to put a plow on the front of your truck. And it's going to last you a very long time if you take care of it. And you can get a very, very long life out of a V plow as well, but there's more opportunities to tweak it, to break it. There's more mechanisms on it. The replacement blades are more expensive. Are these guys going? They're not. That's not a good place to stop there, Palbert. Palfredo. That's all I meant by that video. There was a guy that mentioned his driveway route in New Hampshire, and he loves the V plow because when you're going up a steep driveway with a lot of snow, you can push it off to the left and right, and then just do one swipe on each side. But with a straight blade, you may get weighed down and not be able to make it all the way up the hill, whereas a V blade's gonna push the snow aside and you're gonna be able to keep going faster. Which again, is a perfect example for why the guy wants a V plow on his truck, because it's specific for that reason. He even said on the other majority of his driveways, it's not necessary to have the V plow, but for those ones in particular, up and down driveways, that's why he bought it. And that's perfect. It's somebody who bought his plow for his own reasons. That's the way it should be. And that's what I did with my plow, and a lot of other people here in New England do with straight blade plows. And the only reason I make a big deal out of it is because in any kind of plowing video you watch on YouTube, if somebody's using a straight blade, people just start tearing them up in the comments like they're a better plow guy or something because they got a V plow on their truck. I'm not saying all guys that have V plows, but I'll bet you the majority of guys that have V plows, I could smoke on driveways with my plow, just with my experience compared to their experience. It's not about the plow that's on your truck, it's about the person behind the wheel. It's just that, it's like that saying, it's not the arrow, it's the Indian. So that's my 2 cents on the different types of plows. You got to really purchase the plow based off of your own need for it. You know, what are you buying it for? What kind of route is it going to be on? Am I spending too much money? Am I spending too little money? You know, those are the questions. And every manufacturer has ups and downs on them. You'll have people that swear by a manufacturer, and then you'll have somebody who comments right underneath it that the manufacturer is complete garbage. So it's like, just like Ford versus Chevy or Dodge, you know, it's the age-old disputes that are just like, you know what, people tend to just kind of stand by the brands and manufacturers that they've always used. It's just kind of human nature. I'm not here to argue about it. I'm just here to discuss it, which is kind of what it was. It just sparked a good conversation with a handful of people in the comment section, and it was nice to read through. So feel free to do that again in the comment section. Continue the style of plow debate. We are at lucky number 1. This one's a pretty flat driveway, and they actually pay for salt anyway, so works out good. This view seemed to work out pretty good on that last video, so we're gonna try it again. Put it in 4-wheel drive. Be a good idea. Wish I had that plow marker. Should have fixed it. I had a week to do it. Got lazy. Plus they were saying that this storm might dud out too, so wasn't exactly sure. Wanted to jump right on it. Wanted to get nice and close to that left side over there real quick. Go in over here and scoop. They don't pay for shoveling here, so just try to get as close as I can. That is good enough for not paying to get shoveled. That's the kind of stuff that you gotta pay extra for. The garage doors and everything. Some people include it in their price, but it's a lot of work when you add it all up. So if you're a contractor doing it, make sure you're not giving away free labor. You see my mirror right here? That's another thing with ice. Covers the mirrors up, and it makes it hard for you to see anything behind you. I'm really not out here trying to be the fastest driveway plow guy in the world. I'm trying to do a good service, make good money, and just, while I'm sitting here talking to you guys about good service, I hit their mulch. But I just try to provide a good service and keep myself busy when it snows. That all looks pretty good. I'm gonna try to turn around now, plow out the side that I didn't get on the way in, and then I'll be on my way. here at that tennis club. Nice little open spot to plow. It's gonna be a nice, chill night. Looking forward to it. Camera's terrible, but you guys see those deer? What you guys doing over there? You gonna run away? There they go. Oh! See that little one just face plant into the snow? Got a little bit more to do over there and finish up the road. Be out of here. Didn't sound good, guys. That didn't sound good. But it all looks fine. Time to shovel that front walkway. I don't know how well you guys can see it. That's the thin layer of ice on top of all this snow. That's what I was talking about. If all this snow was gone, when that ice came, it'd be stuck to these brick pavers. You can hear it as I'm shoveling. Still drizzling a little bit. Things are still definitely gonna get icy. If people aren't careful tonight, they're gonna get hurt. Hope you guys are enjoying the video. If so, hit that like button. It actually goes a long way with the videos and I appreciate it. Just wanted to bring up the electric vehicle and equipment thing again. I don't want to beat a dead horse or anything, but you know, it's just really hard to fathom people thinking that we can just convert everything into electric, especially vehicles that do snow plowing. I don't know if you guys seen the news recently, but charging stations and Teslas and other electric vehicles are having a really hard time through this super cold front. All these trucks you see on the road snow plowing are powered by gas engines, diesel engines, and the skid steers and loaders you see are powered by diesel engines and hydraulic pumps. And even further than just snow plowing, the guys that come and dig a house foundation and grade the land, what are you going to do to give them a powerful enough bulldozer or excavator for it to make any sense to switch over from a diesel engine? But anyway, I don't know. The more I think about the world trying to switch everything over to that, the more my mind just turns upside down. Let me know what you think in the comments, but it's feasible for some things, but not most, especially the construction industry. Well, it is 5 o'clock. Everything you've seen me done, plus a few other things off camera, was done from 3 till 5. Now the sun's going down. But I wanted to show you this driveway here. I don't think I've ever filmed it. It's a pretty tight circular driveway. one done. Ice all over the screen. Another one all set. Tight circular driveway. It never looks good with a blown head bulb. Never looks good with a blown headlight. But I don't think I'm gonna fix it tonight, honestly. Unless the other one goes out, then I gotta do that. Well guys, it is 9:14 a.m. and the temperature did plummet like they expected. I stopped videotaping once it got dark. It's just really not worth it in my opinion. Plus there's a lot to do. The company that I'm working for had a bunch of people call out and leave. I guess to mention that for a minute, you people out there that get into plowing and just act like it's any job that you can just leave or get up and go whenever you want, or after 8 hours you're tired, you gotta leave. You better get out of snow plowing ASAP. This gig is not meant for people that can't handle 15 plus hours of work consecutively. If you can't handle it, don't sign up for it, because all you end up doing is putting more on everybody else's plate when you wimp out and go home. To put it the best way possible. Kind of crazy, but I've been experiencing that everywhere I've ever plowed for. It's like people just, they sign up, can't handle it. They'll come in and they say they have experience, and then one storm in, you can tell that they were full of a little bit of baloney. It was definitely a longer day than expected. I punched in at 3 p.m. I plowed till 10 p.m. Took an hour break, and then I went and grabbed one of the trucks that they have and salted for them. I went and did their commercial salt route and then a residential salt route, and I salted for 9 hours. So I worked for 16 hours. I've been up for 27 hours. So I just got home and I plowed my house. Really wasn't much snow. Probably like 2 inches here with some ice on top. But where we plowed in Sudbury, there was definitely 3 to 4 inches of snow with ice on top. Truck and plow held up good again. I need to change that light bulb sometime this week, and I'm going to replace that plow marker. Then that thing will be back to good as new also. Oh, that's all ice. There was a little story actually. I almost lost their truck down 2 different residential hill driveways because of a sheet of ice. And it is exactly like what I was talking about. So they sent them early to do the hills because, you know, they want to keep the hills clean. But it really made things dangerous, because when I went there to salt, it was a sheet of ice going up and down the hill. So I had to salt going backwards really slow to make sure I put it down heavy, and it still wasn't even heavy enough. Both of those houses, because they're really steep, when I was coming back down, the truck started sliding down the hill. And at that point you can't lock your brakes up, or else you'll just go off. So you got to kind of let off the brakes, roll, brake, roll, brake, roll, and just kind of hope that you're in control of it. Which thankfully nothing bad happened, but I almost lost the truck twice because of everything I was talking about like earlier on in this video. You can hear it. So it was a brutal storm. Not much accumulation, but you guys in the industry that deal with the ice storms, you know what I'm talking about. It can sometimes be worse than like a 8 to 10 inch storm of nice fluffy snow. It was like 18 degrees all night last night. If you get behind on a storm like that, it's not good. See all the ice. The weird part was that it took like 12 hours to dump 3 inches of snow. But anyway, that's it for this one, guys. Short storm. Was supposed to be a short storm. Turned into a long one. Any kind of feedback, questions, comments, put it in the comment section below. Looking forward to hearing from you guys. But you guys know the deal. Till the next one, God bless. Peace.